blood, bullets, and controversy, the unholy trinity of violence in video games. From the first arcade brawls to the sprawling open worlds of today, the gaming industry has never shied away from pushing boundaries and testing limits. In this video, we're diving headfirst into the electrifying violent cutscenes from video games. Manhunt. The Manhunt games continue to hold the title for the most violent video games on home consoles even after 17 years. When most people think of violent or contentious video games, they usually think of Grand Theft Auto, Mortal Kombat, and Night Trap. However, Manhunt pushed brutality to a whole new level. When Manhunt debuted in 2003, viewers were taken aback by how dark and vicious it was. It's a stealth and survival horror game that's not for the weak of heart. The murder scenes are incredibly realistic and gruesome. Players destroy adversaries with objects including shattered bottles, plastic bags, and gardening tools. Even the most seasoned player will get goosebumps from the horrific manner opponents writhe and struggle during kills and the protagonist's lack of feeling. Manhunt also features very little to no music, which gives the game an additional eerie touch. Players assume control of James Earl Cash, a prisoner on death row who must appear in a snuff video to be released. Cash has to go through the city, brutally eliminating gang members. Lionel Starkweather, a disgraced film producer, follows Cash while he creates his latest cinematic masterpiece. In the second game, players take on the role of Daniel Lamb, the new protagonist, and explore the pitch-black hallways and rooms in quest of clues about their past. The metropolitan setting has been replaced with a mental asylum. The Manhunt series was the pinnacle of violent video games. People all throughout the world were incensed by its incredibly unsettling narrative and hyper-realistic portrayal of murder. Despite this unnerving quality, the series does have a modest fan base. Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat has been synonymous with graphic violence and brutal finishes since its inception. It's a franchise that's not just about the gameplay, but also about storytelling and world building. The very first Mortal Kombat game introduced us to its dark, fantastical universe, with cutscenes featuring the infamous villain, Shang Tsung, and the elder god Raiden. These initial cutscenes may seem rudimentary by today's standards, but they set the stage for what would become one of the most enduring and iconic series in the gaming world. Without a doubt, the finishes or fatalities are one of the most distinctive aspects of Mortal Kombat sequences. Because of their extreme ingenuity and gore, these moves have become legendary. Fatalities are the moments that keep fans coming back for more, not just for the thrill of victory, but also for the gory gratification of witnessing their opponent meet a horrible end. The worst of these is Cole, Sonya Blade, and Kano fighting an unseen lizard the size of a human in a warehouse. Examples of these moments are Sub-Zero's spine-ripping maneuver and Scorpion's Get Over Here.
Jax wins. Flawless victory. Fatality.
Hatred. Hatred, rated an 18 by the game's rating agency, is supposedly the most violent game ever made. In the contentious game, players take control of the protagonist, who goes on a murderous rampage and murders nearly everyone he encounters, including police officers, members of the public, and other people, in a variety of horrifying and horrific ways. The unidentified figure uses strong language, vowing to put in the grave as many as he can and characterizing his existence as a cold, bitter hatred. The game sets off a series of graphic and brutal episodes in which the main character murders innocent individuals. First, fatally stabs one police officer while he is lying on the ground after shooting another at close range. The game switches to a broad view of him murdering people in a police station before returning to a close-up of him stabbing an innocent woman while she begs for her life and blood splashes across the screen. Innocent bystanders were murdered using a variety of weaponry, such as flamethrowers, knives, shotguns, and handguns.
I can feel their pain, their suffering flowing through my veins. It's like the most intense drug.
Grand Theft Auto. The gameplay of Grand Theft Auto has always been a highlight. because it allowed players to portray criminals in almost any way. The game was contentious from the start, including multiple cutscenes of brutal deaths all along the game. The violence in the game is prevalent throughout and occasionally gets a little graphic. Shootouts happen often, and when they do, they're usually rather severe and involve some blood. A bank heist is seen at the opening, along with some blood. Cutscenes feature a graphic headshot, a man burned alive, and a decaying body. Trevor's mother is hinted to have physically mistreated him in a side mission. She passes away at the conclusion of the mission. A cutscene featuring a particular crime boss speaking to the player about their accomplishments or next steps is triggered when the player completes either of the two main objectives in each city to obtain a specific amount of money. The cutscene uses very limited animation in its game art. There is a scene when Trevor is burned alive at the conclusion. He is seen crying in excruciating pain as the flames consume him. This scene is incredibly unsettling and intensely emotional, even though Trevor is mad. During a particular cutscene, Trevor Phillips repeatedly kicks Johnny Klebitz until he passes away and his face gets bloody.
Fucking shit! Cut! Who the fuck are you speaking to? Who? I'm talking to you, huh? You fuck! Johnny! Next time, don't get in my fucking face!
Postal. Developed in 2003, Running with Scissors is a first-person shooter video game called Postal. The head pops open with a splash of blood and everywhere. It begins with the dream of the Postal Dude, where he woke up in the suburbs of a place like it's a very gruesome nightmare. A community populated by trigger-happy former police officers, scrawny middle-aged soccer parents, and rabid dog-attacking people, and the TV isn't working. After defeating the dreaded coronavirus, another journey was embarked, far deep below in dungeons with a philanthropist and world-renowned pothead. What is called the climax of destiny. The nightmare still goes on. The Postal Dude shot the imaginary postal guy in the end when he told him that he can't be vanquished and his existence can't be dismissed because he is stronger, mightier. He was shot dead with his very own weapon, eyes bulged out and a river of blood around. Conclusion. It's important to remember that video games are a diverse medium, capable of providing experiences that range from pure entertainment to thought-provoking narratives. While violence is a component in many games, it's essential to consider the context, intention, and impact it has on players and society.